Hi everybody, I'm Noelle Randall, and on today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about if you should buy apartment buildings or not. Should you buy apartment buildings? That's what we're going to be talking about. Should you buy single family residence or should you just jump right to apartments? We're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you why you should or why you shouldn't. Let's go. Hi, this is Noelle Randall.
More great news for real estate investors.
How would you like to be a boss? I'm going to show you how. Buy houses using a credit card. So let's talk about wholesaling now. Welcome back. I'm Noelle Randall, real estate entrepreneur, mentor, and mom of 5. And on today's episode, we're talking about should you buy apartment buildings or not? So many questions. I know it's kind of confusing. Should I just buy houses or should I just go and buy an apartment? Let's talk about it. Because the answer is, it depends. Yeah, it kind of depends. This is not a situation that I can just answer and just say, yeah, you definitely should buy apartments, or no, you definitely should not buy apartments. It really does depend. It depends on your personal situation, and I'm going to help you know if you can go to apartments or if you should stay away from apartments. I'm going to just give you some tips, and then for your situation, you check the boxes and say, yes, I can buy apartments and I should go there, or no, I haven't met these things and I shouldn't. So I'm going to talk to you about it because it really does depend, and sometimes you need to have a full strategy and know what you're going to do. So this is kind of a time when people do want to talk to me, or my students, we have a conversation. So if you're really confused and you're thinking about apartments but you're really not sure, this could be a great time if you're really serious about being in the business to go ahead and apply for a call to talk with me, and maybe I can help you decide, or you can go through this video and I can give you the answer. Again, I just want you to get to the right answer so that you don't make a big mistake and do something that you shouldn't do. So let's kind of go through it. So here's the thing with apartments that's really, really important. It's not really for newbies, okay? This is not for newbies with no money. So I get a lot of times people are new in the business, they don't have much experience, and they also don't have very much money, okay? So if you're someone that doesn't have much money, and I'm talking about $5,000 or less available for real estate investing, then you probably should not be looking to buy apartment buildings, because this is just not really going to be for you at all. You probably should start with something else, learn the business, start with a single family residence, and then build on it. And you could even go with, and I'll talk about what that even means, but I mean single family 1 to 4 units. When I'm talking about apartment buildings, I mean 5 units and above, all right? So I mean multi-unit apartment buildings. Even if it's a small apartment building, this is probably something that you should avoid if you don't have much money and you're new in the business. Now, if you're new in the business and you are someone that has money saved, ready to invest, and you have, $100,000 or something like that, and you're willing to risk that, and you have some cushion, then this is definitely something that you could talk about, and this is something you could look into it. It may be for you even if you are new to the business, because you can make really good money, and you're probably, the way I teach it, you're probably going to trade in all of those single family residences, those 1 to 4 units, for apartments as you grow in this business. But if you feel like you are ready to just pass that and go to apartment buildings, or you already have single family residences and you want to sell those off and trade them in for an apartment unit, then that is smart and that is what you should do, okay? Because that's definitely the goal. You don't want to have a bunch of houses. You'd much rather apartment buildings and have one building that has 12 units instead of 12 houses with 1 person in each house or 1 family in each house. You'd much rather 1 building with 12, and you get those 12 checks from that 1 building and that 1 maintenance, that 1 property manager handling that 1 thing, versus 12 things that you have to handle. Even if doing it my way, how I teach you, putting those houses into a blanket mortgage and only having 1 mortgage and 1 tax payment and 1 insurance payment and things like that, you still have 12 different properties with 1 door, okay? So that's why in real estate investing, we count doors, we count units. We don't really necessarily count single families and say like properties. We really want more doors. You want more units, not necessarily more houses, okay, and more property. It's all about doors, units, and how much income you're deriving from each unit. That is the wealth. That is the mindset in this thing, okay? A lot of people don't get it. A lot of people don't understand. But people that watch me and listen to me, you know I am teaching you to be rich and to be wealthy, not to just do a deal here or there. So listen, if that's your goal, if you just want a deal here or there, or you just want to, flip an apartment building and you think you can do that, hey, have at it. But you probably want to start with 1 to 4 units if you really don't have much money and you're newer in the business, okay? So next thing, should you buy apartments? Well, again, if you're newer, don't have much money, it's probably better to get 2 to 4 units first, then learn the process and go to the next thing, okay? You want to start with the 2 to 4 units first, learn it, and then learn the process and go to the next thing, which would be small apartment buildings. And then again, your apartment buildings will get bigger and bigger as your knowledge grows and your money grows. All right. So you may start off and you can only buy a 6-unit apartment building or 8 or 10. And then eventually you're into 24 units, 56 units, and then over 100 and things like that. But most people do not start or have the money, knowledge, skill set, resources, team, just like everything to just go in and buy big apartment buildings with, hundreds of units. Probably just not smart. All right. And so let's talk about things to consider. Okay. Here's some really important things to consider. I'm going to give you some pros and some cons to let you know if you should buy apartment buildings. But I'm going to take this chance, this second to say, come on, guys, remember to like this video. Comment below if you're having questions about things that I said. Share this video with other people, again, so I can keep making content, and the channel is just growing, and I thank you so much. But remember to share this, and more importantly, subscribe. Subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so that you know when my videos come out. They come out every single week. I'm giving you new content, new information, brand new 2019, 2020 tactics, so you're not doing old stuff that doesn't work anymore, okay? Or outdated information that's gone. I'm giving you the new deal, all right? So let's talk pros and cons. This is the 4th most important thing. And again, if you have questions and you need to do a call, there's a link below to apply to for a free strategy session with me or someone from my team. And so things to consider with apartments. Pros, they're easier to finance. So I know you may have, some people watch other people's videos and some people say, oh, just go to apartments, because they are easier to finance. I know it's crazy, but when you look at income producing property like apartment buildings, they really scrutinize the property more and how much income. Stop. I know I'm interrupting this video because I have an important message for you guys. If you are serious about real estate as a business and you really want to be a real estate entrepreneur, a millionaire like Noel, you're gonna need a website. And so I'm actually gonna give you some free resources, some low-cost resources. So you need 2 things to be a real estate entrepreneur. You need to have deals. You need a place to put your deals so that when you get a deal, you can get it to other investors quickly, and a great network. So there's a link below for a free account, myhousedeals.com. Or you can do upgrade it for like $20 or $30 a month, super cheap. They have stuff for like less than $100 a month where you can really, really make some good money. myhousedeals.com, or you can search for properties for free. You can literally take those properties and market it to other people like I teach you and make money. There's a link below. Go ahead, sign up today. Second thing, you need a website. You need a website. It's like, look what century we're in. It's 2019 when I'm making this video. If you don't have a website, you don't have a business. So go ahead and click that link below and get you a website for cheap. We got websites for $50, $100 that are already built for you. SEO, SMO, professional, customized to you. This is what you want to do, and I'm giving you everything that you need. Click below and get yourself set up like you need to be. The property is producing versus how much you, the borrower, and your credit and your finances. It's just a different mindset from the bank, from the lenders. They really look at it like it's 80-20. If you're buying a single family house and you're using a traditional bank, it's 80% you, 20% the property. But with like commercial property, apartments and things like that, it's 80%. They're focused on the property, how much money it's going to make, what the potential of that property is, and then 20% you, okay? And so that's a pro. Yeah, it's a pro, just being honest as to why you might want to go with with apartments. It's easier to finance. So you can borrow the down payment. Okay, with apartments, again, it's commercial financing. So many of the people and many of the lenders, they just allow you to borrow the down payment as long as it's seasoned. And there's just some things that we can do that makes it really simple. Or you can pool money together, and that's totally allowed. So the financing is just way more flexible, way more creative. It's a bunch more things that we can do with apartments that we really can't do with single family residences. So there's just more opportunity there for the financing, and it's a lot easier. However, it's higher level. So pros and cons. It's more creative, but less people know what to do and how to do it. So again, I feel like you should progress to that. But that's Noelle's opinion and how Noelle teaches it and how my students and myself do it. And that's how we build our wealth. But apartments, pro, more units. Way more units. So like I said, you're buying one house at a time, even if it's a 2 and 4 unit. You getting 2 and 3 and 4 units at a time, but with an apartment, you're getting 8, 10, 12 units at a time. So that's 12 checks coming in, you know, or even if it's a 12 unit and only 10 of them are occupied, you got 10 checks coming in versus one house, one person, that check, whether you get what I'm saying. So more units, more money, all right, quickly, more cash on cash usually. Apartments, they usually increase in value faster, okay, usually. So generally speaking, apartments and commercial real estate, especially apartment buildings in certain sizes, it depends on what market you're in. Many markets, again, I'm speaking generally across the United States, and you guys know I have a master's in economic development, so I'm always pulling in economic information and economic indicators, but at the same time, generally speaking, apartments and apartment buildings, especially the smaller units, are increasing and appreciating in value, especially when they are rehabbed and maintained and renovated and they're occupied and they're managed properly. They increase in value usually faster than single family houses do. Okay, generally speaking. So let's talk about the cons real quick, because we're not gonna end on a low note, but I want to be honest with you because there's some great reasons why you should do apartments, but then there's some reasons why you shouldn't. So longer resale. Apartment buildings usually take longer to sell. Okay, so average house days on market may be 33 days. For apartments, it's probably going to be 60, 90, 120 because of the process. Okay, and there's fewer buyers. All right, so there's fewer of them. Sorry, there's more single family houses than there are apartments that most people can afford to buy, okay, or build themselves. So they are more expensive, obviously. Buying apartment buildings are more expensive. You're going to need more money, more capital, which is why I said if you're new and you don't have much money, this is probably not where you want to go. Like I said, it's harder to find good deals in apartments. So you may find apartments, but that doesn't mean they're a good deal. All right. And so when you're newer and you're learning how to look at property and you're learning how to evaluate property, how to research property, you're usually not as good as an experienced person. So they're harder to determine and analyze. So if you're new and you don't know what you're doing, then it's probably not a good idea for you to just find apartments and think that you're going to flip them, because they're harder to find good deals. They take longer to sell, things like that. So more competitive. Because there are less of them, they're more scarce. They're harder to find. It's more competitive. You need to be really good, which is why I tell you to usually, not everybody, to start with a single family residence, learn what you're doing, get good at it, and then, because by the time you get into apartments, you want to be savvy. And if you start in apartments and you're dealing with all these seasoned, savvy investors, you're going to get eaten alive. You don't know enough. You don't. I'm sorry. Unless you took a course and you learned exactly how to do apartments and that's what you were trained on, you're probably not going to be as good as seasoned people, because they graduated to that and they're wheeling and dealing. They got more money to spend. They're better at this than you. So it depends. You usually just grow to apartments, but I love apartments. It's definitely where you want to be. No real estate entrepreneur doesn't deal in multi-units and commercials. Like you're not worth your salt if you don't. So it's definitely somewhere, if you're not there, where you're going. All right. And so again, That's Noelle. I've been on this video talking. It's a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I wanted to make sure I'm giving you all of this information and you got all of it and you understand it really well. Again, if you want more free training, go to noellsfreetraining.com, Noelle's with an S, noellsfreetraining.com. There's a link below. If you want to talk to me directly and you feel like you're serious about business, please remember I cannot talk to every single person that applies, but I always encourage, if you're serious, to please apply, because I want to help those that are serious and are serious about this business, because there needs to be more of us doing this, all right? And that's my mission, to create more people that win, more women who win in real estate. So this is Noelle Randall. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time.